Hello, this is Dr. Kim. I'm a functional nomad MD. I'm an integrative and functional medicine physician who is learning to be nomadic. So, for me, what that means is that most of us, especially physicians, are locked into our job. And because my specialty is a bit unique, integrative and functional medicine, each time I would let go of a position that meant national job search. And along with that was very, very traumatic because moving is very traumatic and it's considered one of the most stressful events in life. And along with that is family members who do not want to move, who have to move. So I've been thinking a lot. Last several three jobs, what I did is I would move first and be there for about a year, and then see if it's that area is worthy of subjecting my family to move or not move. It's a bit harder on me being away from ones that I love, including our pets, but I think that it's worthwhile because it protects them from unnecessary stress of moving. So, and since San Antonio, I would have to say that I don't think I found a community that my spouse would be truly happy in. And so we are keeping this lifestyle. And what I wrote about, in the title is what's the most thing about being a nomad? And a lot of people might think it's the van. And when you look at the YouTube, the vans, what kind of rig do they have? Is it a Class B? Is it a Class C? Or is it is it a fifth wheel? Is it a trailer? And for me, that's just means to an end. And for me, actually, less is more. And the most important, in my opinion, is how are we going to sustain ourselves? So, because I was interested in this area, and what I have done is that I have been creating what I call a micro practice of about 20 members. And in the beginning, I really focused on affordability. And what I found out is that people don't value things if they're too affordable. So now what I'm doing is trying to figure out which 20 people should I accept. And I think I'm getting closer to answering that question. And it's a very simple math equation. And I think that I need to figure out or focus on conditions that people are highly motivated, so that even with 20 members, that I will make a decent living, and then the rest of it, I would probably collaborate. And I have some ideas about what that is. But this weekend, what I had to do, because my MKX that was fitted with a mattress and bed, and it was very comfortable, very nice. Unfortunately, it did hit a deer, and it was totaled. If things were less complicated, I would have probably just fixed it and get a salvage title. But it was a bit complicated. We had a out of state title requiring my wife's signature, my signature, and so it was a lot easier to let it go. And then, of course, we need a car. We all do. And then, and I think I also shared with all of you that being exposed to Sienna hybrid minivan really opened my eyes to the possibility, because any hybrid vehicle that is well made, safe, like Toyota Sienna hybrid, that can kind of serve as a room with controlled environment. Of course, relying on that solely may be unwise because there's no backup. And but I think that I'm beginning to figure different things out. So, for example, in last video, I shared that I love the Cracker Barrel. So along the road that I travel often from Kansas City to San Antonio, there are a lot of Cracker Barrels, and they are distributed um, evenly spaced, and the parking lots is huge, and they're very welcoming of people who need to rest in their parking lot, and it's very friendly for that purpose. It's got a clean bathroom. It's got lots of people going in and out. The second place that I may have shared with you also is Love's Travel Stop, and there are many other trucker serving that has similar features. But Love's Travel Stop, they have a lot of it. Again, it's well distributed, and what I use that is also for their official policy is you can park there for an hour, but usually they don't come and chase you away. The second thing that I use it for is shower, and they also have laundry. So the reason why I said that, in my opinion, that rig is less important than what how we sustain ourselves economically is that when you can afford it, you can be a nomad and take airplane. So this weekend, I drove from Carthage to St. Louis Airport, parked in a hotel nearby the airport, and then parked my car there, and then took um, their shuttle to the airport, and then Saturday. So Friday, I checked at night. I checked into a hotel. Saturday, first thing in the morning, I went to the airport, took the 7 o'clock flight, and by like 10:30, I was in San Antonio. The actual plane left at 8 o'clock, so 8 to 10:30, and then I spent Saturday there with my spouse and shopping for a next car, next vehicle, and unfortunately, for many reasons, I didn't want to purchase a hybrid at this time. So I went for old technology of V6 and naturally aspirated Toyota Highlander. And the choice of that had to do with reliability over everything else, even a little bit of comfort. Because the MKX or the Lincoln is more comfortable, but I wanted something bigger and something very reliable. Not that MKX with V6 was not reliable, but lately I just have been reading that there are more issues. There's a lot of the manufacturers seem to be having more issues with newer technologies, and even Toyota was not spared. So that's that. So in terms of what what's happening is that being a nomad, I think the driving or traveling is giving me time to really think. And what I'm realizing, like I said, is that I have to focus on conditions where people are not adversely affected to the idea of paying more. And then I can work with them more closely, and then I can have other members that don't require as much attention. There's a lot of my members who are doing really well. Even if I ask, "How are you doing?" they just ignore me. And I think that's a good thing, because if they need me, they know how to find me. So this edition of Update is about the car that I decided to purchase, and also the notion that the rig is not, it just means to an end. It's not more important than how we're going to make a living on the road. And of course, some of you are have a portable job to begin with. Some of you don't. And what I'm saying is that you should try to find a way to sustain yourself so you're not tied to the job. So the several freedoms that I'm learning from one of my mentor is the freedom to practice medicine the way I want to. And I'm realizing that many physicians and non-physician providers are trapped by the healthcare system, and they have to do exactly how they want them to provide medicine, practice medicine. There is a unit of production we call revenue, RVU, and basically we're not physicians, we're not human beings, we're just RVU generators for some of the healthcare systems. Of course, I don't want to say that all of the systems work this way, but at the end of the day, they have to do their mission. And if there's not enough money, they can't do their mission. And the only way they get paid really is clinicians seeing patients and generating RVU. So I understand that puzzle, that part of the equation. But if there is another pathway, or I am determining my own pathway in this case. So part of being nomad is having that freedom to do things you love doing the way you want to. The second is freedom of movement. So all these different places, I have attachment. Attachment to Quincy area is that I have begun in this area, and there are patients that I don't want to abandon. I want to continue to take care of them. And the other part is the Kansas City is where we used to live, and I have patients there too. I haven't reached out to them, but some of them may find me. But I love Kansas City, so that's my attachment. Dallas, Texas, I used to live there, and my best friend lives there. So that's another reason is that I want to mix business and pleasure, so that if I am in Dallas, Texas, I would be able to meet with my best friend, and we often do. And then San Antonio, of course, is my home base, where my family is based out of. So, of course, if I'm in San Antonio, then I would be happiest. But um, it's equally happy for me to be in different places. So I am looking at all of that, and but in my opinion, rig is just a thing. It's just a means to an end. Some people live in Prius, some people live in hotels, some people tent. I think it's okay. You just do what you like doing, and be safe, and enjoy the process. And same thing with making a living. Do something that you love. You do it the way you love. Have the freedom of movement, freedom of the way you do your job, and also have freedom of making as much money as you want to, you need to. And I've resolved that in my past endeavors, I never look at money. But this time, I've learned some important lessons working for my soon to be previous job, and I do want to create a successful private practice making seven figures, not because I want to buy a rig. It's because I see what working for the healthcare system, or better yet called sick care system, does to my colleagues. It robs them of dignity. It turns them into a thing I call RVU generators. And they're, they're human beings. They are healers. That's why they put up with uh, difficulty, and they went to school and whatnot. And I would like to utilize this practice to help them to gain the freedoms that I'm talking about. So, this is Dr. Kim. I am a functional nomad MD, and I hope that you will find your freedom too.